Hey there everyone, it's AJ Van Rixtel and it is time for the Timelapse Tuesday. And in today's video I'm actually going to be enlisting the help of Mark Crilly's manga art to create a Dungeons and Dragons character. What I'm going to be doing is using the page that consists of the boy with blue hair, as the art has got a various different poses and things which can really help for character design. As you can see, I've already done a little bit of a practice with this and got some various different character designs just as I'm getting used to the idea of doing these particular poses and things. And to help me, what I did was I scanned in this image from the boy with blue hair and then printed out just a little bit smaller, just so I can carry that around with me wherever I go within my little sketchbook. So I shall begin, and I'll do this as a bit of a time-lapse process. To begin this sort of concept design stage, I wanted to get an idea of some different poses and also the armor and the items that this character was holding. And so I paid a lot of attention to detail for this. I had the rough idea of the shape of the body and things already. So this was more for those sort of in-depth details, along with the folds of the scarf type thing that this character wore, which I feel as though I managed to capture really quite well. It kind of creates a sort of concealed sort of effect, which is what I wanted for this rogue character. I'll tell you a little bit about this character just so you know. This character is a half elf with a show human and drow elf ancestry. So one of the parents was a drow elf and the other one was a show human. So I kind of wanted a sort of oriental type feel to it, and I took various bits of the characteristics of each for this. You'll be able to see more of that when I add the colour to this particular image. With regards to this concept, I decided to just play around a bit with the colours and just use some Prismacolor pencils just to get some rough ideas, as well as for the cape I used a 6B pencil to add the shading in. I wanted it to look as black, like a sort of darky colour, but I didn't want it to be it's difficult to do everything in jet black, because otherwise that's just difficult to use sometimes. Whilst I was doing this, I actually was listening to a podcast type thing called Critical Role, which is a series of voice actors that take part in a Dungeons and Dragons campaign for everybody to enjoy. So whilst I was doing this, I was also sat there listening to that and enjoying that. I'll post a link to that in the description. Once I was happy with the concepts of this, I only went into colour on the one because I felt as though it was that was all I really needed for that, and I didn't want to put too much attention into doing the same stuff over and over again. But I did scan in that image, so I've got that outline of the body because I really did like that body before I added colour to it. So then I moved on to more of a profile sort of thing. I wanted to have like a profile picture for this, so that I've got something that I can use, and also it gave me the opportunity to start looking at more attention to the face and the shoulders and things. So to do that, I opened up my page to my sketchbook and drew a little box of about 7 inches by 7 inches, and then began to start outlining the face. I used the same profile that I'd used for the original concept design, which I coloured in, and because I felt as though I was able to get a bit more information on that, and I was really happy with the way that this started to turn out. I did start doing it with a bit of a bandana, but I wasn't too keen on that, and I did eventually move on to adding a hood rather than a bandana-y type thing. I also decided to do a version where the character isn't wearing a hood, just because I wanted to have that sort of difference, and I wanted to have a chance at doing the hair as well. The process for this involved me initially doing this sketch and then scanning that sketch onto the computer, and then I would then go over the lines or readjust the lines that I felt needed a bit more work, and then I felt as though I was able to start using my pen to do the darker outlines. So once I'd done the main outline work, I would scan that in again and print it off, ready for colouring in and inking. I would do this process 2 or 3 times just so I know that I've got got it right, and then I become happy with it. I wasn't particularly happy eventually when I got to the sort of final piece ready to do this. I wasn't particularly happy with the eyes, so when I was on the computer I decided to erase the eyes that I'd already done, and then I scanned it out and redid the eyes before starting to apply colour to this. When it got to applying the colour, this was where I was able to add some more of the details for the particular pieces to signify this particular race and the lineage of this character. So I wanted to clearly identify that this was also a Drow elf with the Drow elf ancestry by applying the sort of darker skinned tone. So that's why I began to add a more of a rougher skin, blackish brown tone compared to the lighter tone of the show elf. This character also happens to have that same sort of tone on their hands, which I will do eventually when I start doing more colour to the full body. With regards to this character, it's quite difficult because they are obviously wearing blackish sort of hood and mask and things, so I had to really kind of make it stand out a bit. So what I did was, rather than using black, I actually used a grey, some grey tones to bring that out and bring that some of that depth into it, and then relied on like the fine liner pen to apply wrinkles and things to that. Once I was happy with the character and the look of and feel of the character, I then decided to add a bit of colour to the 2 swords that I'd drawn with it, and then I thought about adding some blood splatter and things, because this character is and was a hired killer. I then added the background with the blood, and also just did their initials, which is Morrow Row. I really enjoyed this process, and I can't wait to continue to do more on this character. I want to really get a good body profile as well as the face, and I will be doing a unhooded version of this as well. I also want to use this character to practice a bit on the computer, and adding skin tones and things like that via computer. So watch this space, as there will be more of that to come. I'm also going to start doing a bit of voice acting-y type stuff with this, so I'm going to look into doing the background, reading out or acting out the background speech for this character, and also how they look and things, just to see how that goes. And I will do that as a little extra video at one point. I've got to work on some other things in the next few weeks, so this will take a bit of a back burner for the time being, but I've now got the character ready for my Dungeons and Dragons game, which I played my first game on Sunday, last Sunday. So I really enjoyed playing that Dungeons and Dragons game, and I look forward to playing more. So until next time, ta-ra! I mentioned Critical Role in this video today. what I'll do is I'll post a link to that in the description. It's a great little series. Well, say little, I think it's about over 100 episodes long. But I'm currently on episode 4 and I'm really enjoying the story as it progresses. And you should check that out below if you're interested in Dungeons and Dragons. It will give you some great insights to that. If you like this video, please head over to the like button and click the like. And if you haven't yet already and you would like to know more, see more from me, please hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. I'd love to try and get to 100 subscribers by the end of this year. That would be an amazing achievement for me. I'm currently on 26. So I will sign out now. I really